many things and at least fairly competent at almost everything else, and then learning to combine abilities to form competitive advantages while at the same time finding total and complete fulfillment in life. Not too heavy of an assignment, right? The secret to all of it? Skill stacking. Yay. The enemy? Specialization. Ooh. Mostly, I want to teach you how to get better at getting better at things. The skill of acquiring skill, so you can build a reputation and a thriving business, if you so choose, with all the skills you never had and never thought you needed to have. The problem, as I see it, is that since most self-help books these days are about topics like finding confidence when you're semi-overweight or marketing yourself on social media, nobody's thought to teach you these inclusive skills. And while I'm all for finding confidence when you're semi-overweight, I used to be one such person, we'll talk about that in a bit, and marketing yourself on social media, those types of skills have little to do with being happy and successful on the most fundamental level. Happiness is a skill. Business is a skill. I'm going to teach you how to get the skills you need, and then how to combine those skills to find your competitive streak and creative spirit. Am I a super creative person? Well, I should like to think that I'm at least somewhat creative. I draw things, I record music, and I write. I even entered a video game tournament once. I didn't do half bad. I won the first round, anyway. But the reason I'm creative, if I'm creative at all, is that I'm a generalist. I'm somebody who got good at many things and then found a way to pull them together to come up with ideas for, and this always sounds somewhat self-aggrandizing when I say it like this, making money, and, more important, having a pretty fun time doing it. I only say pretty fun because there were one or two times it didn't go quite as well as I had hoped. I'll get over it. You know what? It is hard being me. Thank you for saying that. No, really. It means more than you know. Here, let's sit and maintain eye contact. So this is the way this book will work. First, I like numbering things. Keeps me organized. I'll talk about generalism and the principles behind it, and why I think this philosophy can help you or anyone find success and happiness by doing the things you love and making money from them. Doesn't that sound nice? I think that sounds nice. Second, I'll talk about skill stacking and why it's more effective for being an entrepreneur and human than specialization, or trying to be the best at just one thing. Third, I'll talk about how to get better at anything that interests you through a series of principles that makes learning new skills 40 million times easier. I'll also share with you the skills I think almost every person needs to get started getting ahead both financially and figuratively. And don't worry, it's not like any of these skills take all that long to develop. It's just that most people never think to develop them. Finally, we'll talk about how to actually build a skill stack and put all your newfound talents to work in attaining the good life. Ah, yes, the good life. Because it wouldn't be a self-help book without talking about that. Along the way, we'll discuss some well-known people who use this philosophy of generalism, case studies, you could say, of those who became good or great at many things to find success and meaning and fulfillment. You'll also find more of these additional opportunities to see generalism in action in the appendix. People like George Washington Carver, whom I did a book report on in the 3rd grade, just so you know a little about my credentials. For example, George Washington Carver was more than just an innovator with the peanut and the sweet potato. He was also known for his advocacy of a proper understanding of the relationship between faith and science. In addition, he was a strong, original proponent of environmentalism, while at the same time offering advice to business leaders and establishing outreach programs. The man did a lot because he was capable of a lot, and he had a huge heart. He was even a competent painter. I'll also mention several contemporary figures along the way, which is my way of saying people who aren't quite so, well, dead. As I said, my goal isn't to teach you step by step some new way of starting a business because that, I think, would be boring. My goal is to teach you principle by principle how to become better at almost everything and then help you figure out what skills you may need to do all the things you want in life. I get that this book may be saying some peculiar things and that you probably think I'm somewhat peculiar as well. But trust me when I say I'm onto something and that specialization is not the way to go in life. So many people are still so preoccupied with trying to become the best at just one thing. But the greatest opportunities present themselves to those who are preoccupied, not with excelling at one skill, but with being just good enough at the right combination of abilities. Perhaps the greatest feature of generalism is that you don't need to have any sort of genetic head start. You don't need a perfectly groomed set of eyebrows or a strong pair of arms or a fast set of legs. You can just be whoever you are, and that's enough. This philosophy is all